Hi guys, welcome to our soon-to-be YouTube channel. I'm Hugo, this is Isa, and this is our current house where we just subdivided a piece of land to build a new house which will be starting in the next few weeks. So we'll be doing all the construction management and kind of the general contracting of the project and making sure everything's good. Both Isa and I are architects or soon-to-be architects, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on the construction and documenting the process the whole way. We've also designed the house ourselves, and we'll be running you through the renderings and all the plans before we get started, and then I'll try to keep a weekly vlog that we document the process throughout the week. So this week we'll be starting by clearing the land to get ready to cut down this big oak tree that unfortunately has to get cut down, but we'll try to reuse in some project throughout the house. We're definitely going to keep the wood, so we'll hopefully have an update on that later, but essentially this week we're just going to get the land ready. Come. You'll be seeing a lot more of her as well. Up, Sil. Come on. So here's the actual piece of land from another angle. You can see that big oak tree that I was talking about earlier. That's got to be a 100-year-old tree, and unfortunately we have to cut that down, but essentially we bought a lot about 8 years ago, and we have a 75-foot wide lot that we've subdivided into a 50-foot parcel and a 25-foot parcel where we're going to be building this contemporary narrow infill house, which is kind of unusual for this neighborhood. You'll get a much better idea of how the house will look from the renderings, and once the land is all cleared, it's going to look a lot bigger than it is. So I'm going to show you guys from the back side, and you can kind of get an idea of what the house is going to look like. So I'll take you guys there now. So here's our backyard. Going to get a bit smaller once the house is built. Essentially, here's the piece of land that we're going to be building the house on. We have about 25 feet, 4 feet away from the house. So we'll be able to do this pretty narrow infill here, and it's going to be pretty long. The house is about 40 feet long, and it comes to about back here compared to the other house. So at this point, it's probably a good idea to fill you guys in on the actual design, the renderings, as well as the plans that constitute the actual house. So I'm going to run you guys through that. Let's start with the ground floor plan. I'll explain why the entrance is recessed, and that had to do with the local bylaws which prevent you from having a legal parking spot in front of your house. So in order to avoid that, we recess the front entrance and we can squeeze a full parking spot, which is considered a side yard parking. Even though there's a long driveway, there's one parking spot on record. As for the actual plans, once you get inside, you'll be lower than the main living floor. You'll enter in between the dining and living room. The living room will be in the narrow part towards the front of the house with large picture windows facing the street. As you can see from the plan, the kitchen is going to be towards the back of the house, facing the backyard. You can walk onto a large deck. As you can see, the house is separated by a dining room, which is going to be the central focus of the open plan. So I'll run you guys through the second floor now, and you can take a look at that. If you take a look at the renderings, you'll notice that the second floor is cantilevered over the first floor. This gives us a bit more room for the master suite, which is located at the front of the house. You can see the small ensuite towards the front of the house and the walk-in closet that's internal, and a large master bedroom. The upstairs is actually 3 bedrooms, so including that master bedroom we just talked about, there's a secondary bedroom in the center that shares a bathroom with the back bedroom and a small laundry room upstairs. Since it's a very narrow house, we were kind of limited to what we could do upstairs. And last but not least, the basement. The basement is quite important because we're actually going to have a rental apartment down there. The apartment is around 850 square feet with the living room at the front, a small IKEA kitchen towards the back of that space, and then towards the backyard, a bathroom and a fairly large bedroom back there. We're also going to have our mechanical room under the stairs that we're going to have to share with the tenant. Some people might not like the idea of having a tenant in their basement, but we have one in our current home, and we get along with him really well. He's grown to be almost an uncle to us, and I'm not gonna lie, it helps with the mortgage payments to have some extra income from the basement. So we're hoping for a similar situation in the new house. And finally, here's the rendering one more time so you guys can visualize the plans and kind of get an idea of what aesthetic we're going for with this new house. I forgot to mention, we're actually located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, which is a pretty cold climate. So it's early September now, and we have a few months left to build, so we are trying to be enclosed for the winter, which is going to be a challenge, but I think we should be fine if everybody shows up and does their job. But since I am working a full-time job, it's going to be a bit harder to manage this kind of in the evenings and when I have a bit of free time. Isa will be at home, so she'll be able to check on the guys and do a bit of filming of the trades during the day, so hopefully we get some good time lapse and some good kind of b-roll footage from those guys. I think that pretty much does it for the plans. I will run you guys through some more details kind of as we go along. We'll be choosing a lot of these architectural details, and I'll share my decision-making process with you, and Isa and I are gonna constantly be making decisions to try to make this kind of a very cool project. So I think that's it for this one. That'll kind of wrap up this first design episode, and I've kind of split it up so that in the next day or two I'll release another episode, which is kind of the yard work and taking care of the fence and taking care of the tree which just came down, and kind of the whole backyard cleanup, and then hopefully the episode after that will be excavation, so stay tuned.